So yesterday a call came over the radio. Someone had a car accident. It was a bad one. Rolled over multiple times, occupant trapped inside in a very rural location, which happened to be about 1.5 miles from here. So being a first responder, I've got to make a decision in a situation like that. I'm the closest person to assist, and the other responding units are 40 minutes out, possibly 45, possibly an hour out. So do I drive and add an extra 20 minutes onto my response time to go pick up an engine and then re-respond the opposite direction back to a situation like this? Or do I respond in my own personal vehicle and try to help, try to assist in that way? Because time is everything in situations like that. So this particular one, I chose to take my own vehicle. And that really highlighted and showed me the importance of being prepared. And I am so glad that I had taken those steps some weeks ago, just in case of a situation like that. So I was putting my truck back in service and just going over everything again, because I had a bunch of my tools and med kits and stuff drug out for this call. And I thought that might be interesting for you to see how I've got my truck set up and the reasons why. And I thought we'd just go over it. It'll be kind of fun, and I'll bring you along and we'll learn together. You know, the reality is out here is that when you become a volunteer member of a department, your resources are kind of commingled. You know, you use what you have. This always isn't. You just can't. You can't plan for everything, every contingency, when everything is so spread out and you're limited on resources. So you have to take matters into your own hands a little bit. You have to be prepared. You have to be able to do something about it. So my truck is I think it's about a 2001 Ford F-250 Super Duty, heavy duty truck, 4x4, and I've laid it out in a couple different ways. Extra spare tire, double spare tire, so one in the cab there. I just built a mount for it that just screws to the bed, holds that secure. Recently added an extra 5-gallon can of gas. This is nice to have if you run out, or there's always somebody that runs out. You can help them. Also, it doubles for my Wildland fire skid, which fits in here, which I can get in and operational in about 10 minutes. And so that's an extra 5 gallons of gas for that. Another recent addition is my WeatherGuard toolbox. WeatherGuard and ProTech make the very best toolboxes. This particular one, a funny story, is I had someone try to break into it one time, and they broke off this knob here with a screwdriver, and it was all messed up, and there was blood all over the side of my truck. So I did delight in the fact that the lock stymied the thief and claimed his blood at the same time. So that's one of those moments you treasure in life. So inside of the box is a FSS fire shovel, FSS Pulaski, a 5-gallon bucket for handling water, some ear protection, and like I used the other day, a firefighter's extrication tool. This telescopes out and turns into a really wicked pry bar. You can see there, and locks. So that's how you can get a purchase point, lock doors. You know, so throwing that in there made all the difference. I was able to get in and minister to that patient who was in bad shape, very bad shape. So here I've got a really comprehensive set of tools. You should get in a habit of, when you work on your vehicle, you should have a toolbox in here, and you should, when you work on your vehicle, use the tools in your box, and that will really point out your deficiencies. When you change the oil, when you do everything, I mean, you can't do major stuff with it, but your minor stuff, little things that would go wrong, changing fan belts and stuff, use your tools in your kit, and that way you'll know if you have what you need. Here, of course, fluids, 90 weight, engine oil, a gallon there, power steering fluid, brake fluid, transmission fluid, a little bit of all of those. A good heavy-duty set of jumper cables, wrecker style cables that are 22 feet long, I think. Don't get those crummy little cheap ones. These you can actually start immediately. You don't have to wait for things to charge up. And then over here I've got multiple trailer hitches for the common size balls, extra cable extender for my winch. There's a spout there for the 5-gallon gas can, a heavy duty tow strap. I've got chains, and I've got shackles, and I've got a hydraulic jack there. Not relying upon the crummy little crank jack that comes with vehicles. Put a proper jack in there. Always a couple bottles of water. Fence pliers. fence pliers. We had to go through a fence to access this car because it was rolled over, and some channel locks, some matches, an ear protection, and a raincoat. So it's not, not super comprehensive. These here are just fittings for the Wildland Fire deal, padlock, and just a few things, but that's the bulk of the box. So this is the way I have the truck set up. It's kind of pointed out. It's ready to go through the gate. I can jump in and go. What I do is I leave my doors open if I've not put something in there. If my phone's not in there, radio's not in there, there's something that I just haven't got back in, that tells me that the truck is not complete and I need to address it. When the doors are closed, then I know. That sounds silly, but man, when you are scrambling and you get a call to go out and somebody's hurting or somebody's dying, the last thing you need to do is to rush around like a chicken with its head cut off trying to figure out what you forgot. Because what you forgot, it can be a huge problem. So I have to do these things. The command center, right here, this is my chest rig I wear for Wildland Fire. I keep my radio in there. I keep my watch with the compass, pens. I have a new addition, thanks to my subscriber, new friend Luke. Luke sent me a waterproof camera. He said he wasn't using it very much and that he thought that it would be more useful for the Wranglerstar channel. And I really appreciate that, Luke. He sent me a video on the card and thank you, and thanks a lot. That is going to be used. Now that I have a waterproof camera, I've got it in my kit there. I'm going to try to bring you along on some of these fires and stuff. I have to respect patients' privacy and those type of things, but I will video when I can. And then inside here, in the kangaroo pouch, is a what I keep a gun and a ride in the rain pad. And then center console, just lots of batteries, flashlights, water, extra glasses, just those things that you need right away. Phone always plugged in here, phone always charged, make sure my radios are charged. Binoculars, hat, and sunglasses I always put on the top there. I don't want to forget those. Those are really nice to have when it's super sunny, so I'll have those always at the ready. So in the back, my Wildland clothing, I have it ready here so I can throw them on. Pants, trousers there, and the shirt with the belt on. I started carrying a Leatherman on this because I keep people asking me for wire cutters. We always need to cut through a fence or cut battery cables on car wrecks, and so I'm not a big multi-tool guy but I have found it to be indispensable with a good heavy-duty Jones Tactical belt on there for carrying all that junk. So back here, 2 bags. These big red bags are firefighter bags. So this is my structural firefighter gear. That's the heavy-duty stuff, the big yellow helmet. And then I've got a trauma kit right there. And then, of course, my main trauma bag here, which is a BLS, full BLS kit, basic life support. I've got a wool blanket there to treat for shock or somebody who fallen in the river or whatever is cold. And then here's my Wildland kit. Wildland kit here has all my Wildland stuff in it. Of course, my web gear, and then hard hat and gloves and all of that stuff at the ready. Another little trick that I've implemented for these bags as well, because I'm always in and out of them, changing things back and forth, it's easy to forget something, so I've put these carabiners on the handles. And when I zip this up and I lock these carabiners like that in the handle, that right there is my cue that this bag has been gone through and is complete. I'll do the same thing over there on my structure bag, so I know I could just look at it, it puts my mind at rest, I know that I haven't forgotten something. Wildland boots down here with a clean pair of socks, and then a small trauma kit. I've got 100 foot of heavy duty rope back over there, a big fire extinguisher, and then of course fire signs. I'm typically the first one on scene, and so I can take these out when we come to intersections once I find it, and I can put these up, and this will help direct oncoming crews, because it's very confusing out here. Not all the roads are labeled, so that is critical. Is what is my job? I mean, I'm going to be first on scene so many times. What am I going to do against a 5-10 acre fire by myself in my truck? I'm not going to do anything. The only thing I can do is direct resources. I can give some eyes on the scene, and I can call in and tell dispatch and tell command, you know, what they need to send, so I'm not wasting people's times. If I can go out there and put the fire out with a shovel, we don't need to be sending 4 tankers and tenders and coming up with mutual aid and all that stuff. So that is kind of the way I got it set up. I keep a coat in here. I keep an 870 Remington 12 gauge. It's a truck gun. I like to keep the 12 gauge in there because it's just so versatile, and I don't, it doesn't break my heart if it gets stolen because it's not a super expensive gun. I keep the 870 in there, and then of course lots of Velcroed double-aught buck and slugs on these Velcro deals. I can take and stick on my various things. I can grab those and put in my pocket, so those are there. So that is the way I laid out the truck. So I was thinking, would you guys like to see the big fire we had that's about 1.5 miles ago that was about 10 acres? The guys just got it put out. We had a full strike team. We had helicopters. It was a big, big deal. And I've been kind of excited to go up there and see the aftermath to see what it looked like. Do you want to see that? All right. Well, let's do it. Let's do it here. I'll put it right there. Part 2. We'll go over there and we'll do a walkthrough and see what happened and see how hot it got. I don't think most people understand how stretched we are and how difficult it is to get volunteers, because it takes a commitment. It takes effort and time, and a lot of us don't have time. But, you know, we have a sense of responsibility to our communities. And the question that I always ask is who, if not me, then who else? Who else is going to do it? Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to show up when someone has had a car wreck. Someone's got to come and help if people are trapped in a burning house. So why not you? And if you find yourself that you're under 18, you know, most departments have a cadet program, or if you're 16 years old, you can get involved and you can receive all the same training as the firefighters do. You just can't go into a combat type of fire situation. But I'll tell you what, when you're 18, you'll hit the ground running, and then you can. So really look into that. Search your hearts on that, because our communities need our volunteers really badly. So right over there is a link to the walkthrough on the fire that burned 1.5 miles from here. That is not the exact video because I haven't shot it yet, but by the time you click on this, it will be there. So I'll put that there, and we'll go and see what happened, see what they did for mop-up, and see how much damage there was. It's going to be really interesting. I'm excited to go over there and check it out. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, please take a moment and click the thumbs up. It's a way that you can say thank you to me. That's a way that you can support the channel, and it means a lot to us, and we appreciate it. So please don't forget. And commenting is always appreciated as well. So thank you for watching. Thank you to Luke for that beautiful camera. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the message. I took it to heart, and it meant the world to me. So thank you, everyone. We'll see you guys on the next video.